This is a key addition if he does join the team. And then if they get on a roll, it's in LA, Lakers fans, they'll still be Laker fans, and the Lakers will still be the Lakers. It's not going to diminish anything about the Lakers. But I just think it'll be a little bit of a sour taste if they see the Clippers just rolling like that. And then if the Lakers struggle, they might be thinking like, especially if fingers start pointing to Frank Vogel, then they're going to be looking at it like, man, we could have had Ty Lue, and he over there with the Clippers, and they balling. So, very interesting story that adds to this whole NBA season that will be coming up. So, got coaches, got players. You never know what else can happen in the NBA. But if they get Ty Lue, I like that. I like that move big time. So, let's see. What can we do now? That was our basketball news. So, you know what? I know we just came back from break. We're going to take another quick break, and then I'm going to get into this NFC North discussion. And don't go anywhere, because at the end, I'm going to give out a Big L award. Yep. I should have said that at the beginning of the show, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to save it. So we're going to give out another Big L award at the end of the show. But when we come back, we'll get into the NFC North and talk about these teams and what the future looks like for them. So we'll be back after these words again.
We all hate when we have unexpected car problems. Well, I am here to tell you about a viable solution. Bay 11 Auto and my man Melvin. You have emission problems? Brakes need changing? Transmission slipping? Is your car just driving sluggish? No problem is too big. I live on the other side of town and I drive over an hour to a guy that I trust. Melvin is honest, dependable, and definitely not in the business to break your pockets. Come see the official mechanic Melvin at Bay 11 Auto. You will be glad you did. You can reach him at 1455 General Arts Road, Conyers, Georgia, or 404-295-5715. That's 404-295-5715.
We don't take orders from super fools. We give them.
X-Go, give it to you.
Any and all resistance will crumble. Nonsense. There's never been a threat
Squad
couldn't handle. It is the purpose of the
Squad
to align our infamous forces against the powers of good and defeat them, leaving us, the rulers of the world.
All music artists, lend me your ear. Looking for that hot beat to make your next hit? Go to FaroJaroMusic.com. Tired of paying for overpriced studio time for mediocre beats? Go to FaroJaroMusic.com. FaroJaroMusic.com offers industry-quality hip-hop, trap, R&B, and pop beats that will take your creativity to the next level. We know it's hard to find dope beats out there, so don't waste any more time searching YouTube for whack beat-selling websites. Go to FaroJaroMusic.com today to cop the beat for your next hit. Mixing and mastering services available too. Once again, go to FaroJaroMusic.com. That's FaroJaRo Music.com for the hottest beats in the game.
Squad Network, the future of radio.
Yo, what's good? This is Trey Frazier on the staff. This is the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Make sure y'all tune into us every Tuesday night, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time.
He's the brain of operations.
I'm telling you right now, book it!
And him, he's along for the ride. But together, they bring you sports like you've never heard before. The Wait a Minute Show, a new way of discussing today's trending sports topics. And now, back to the show with your host, Jolani J.B. Bodie.
Indeed, Lopan. Indeed. So we are back and from the break, and I told you we were going to talk about the NFC North, so we're just going to jump right into that. And for those people that do not know, the NFC North is the Minnesota Vikings, the Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, and the Chicago Bears. So I will be talking unbiased, being that I am a Lions fan, but I still can speak unbiased, about my team. So let's start with the Lions. They finished the season last year at 6-10. Obviously, not the way that they envisioned. They had games that they just struggled on offense. And running game, they had a nice little running game with Kerryon Johnson, but he got injured. So you got a bright spot there. So I'm going to start, right there. You got guys behind him and Zach Zenner. They brought in C.J. Anderson as well. We all know, he was carrying the load for a little bit in Los Angeles when Todd Gurley was hurt. But I think the biggest thing, for the Lions really was, they got to be able to stop people. They got to be able to slow down people. So they went out. They signed free agent Trey Flowers from the New England Patriots. And they also had a late addition to their defense and Mike Daniels, who was released from the Green Bay Packers. So I will say this, the Mike Daniels thing, a lot of times when I see a player get released or cut late into the season and when training camp started or right before training camp, and you would think that they would have cut them during free agency. It kind of scares me a little bit, when I see something like that, because it's more of, do they know something that we don't know? Is there something that is being not reported, about this player? But the Detroit Lions, they do look better, on defense. They got, Jared Davis there. He's got another year under his belt. Slay is going to be Slay. I mean, he came off a Pro Bowl appearance, and also he was in the top 100 of the NFL. So his peers, think highly of him. But it's going to be on that front line. And I think that's what Matt Patricia is trying to do with this team, is trying to solidify on both sides of the ball, the front line, defense, and the offensive line. Now, he did go a little bit offensive with picking up TJ. Why am I drawing a blank on this kid's last name? Out of Iowa. And now it's not Hankensham, but TJ out of Iowa. They look like they are trying to get Matthew Stafford some help, in addition to Galladay being there. Now, they let Golden Tate go, so they are going to be looking for big things from Galladay and Marvin Jones. But you really haven't had that tight end help. They drafted, who was that they drafted? Eric Ebron about 4 or 5 years ago, and they didn't get what they thought they could get out of him. So they got a rookie tight end, and they're going to be expecting a little bit out of him, but I think more than anything, they're going to really be focused on the run game. They're going to give the ball to Kerryon, and Kerryon is going to be looked at as the guy that's going to control the game. And I understand Matthew Stafford, he has thrown the ball all over the place, here and there and up and down and in and around, whatever it is that you want. But that is not what's going to win you games, is Matthew Stafford just throwing the ball, because he will get into a rhythm, but then he can, get out of a rhythm and throw a pick six or anything like that. So you don't want to have Matthew Stafford trying to win the game on his arm throughout the entire game. No problem with him, if you need to, try and go on a drive, but you want to have a balanced attack. So I think the Lions are going to definitely put an emphasis on the run, and then they have beefed up the defensive line. So we should see a better Detroit Lions team. I don't know if I can say I can put them in the playoffs right now. Obviously, the fan in me is going to say they're going to make it to the playoffs, but I think they are headed at least in the right direction. So followed up by that, we got the Green Bay Packers, and actually I'm going from last to first. So this is how they finished in the division. But the Green Bay Packers finished 6-9-1, so they actually had a tie in that season, and this was pretty much, I don't want to say injury riddled, but it was not, what we were used to with the Green Bay Packers. And the biggest thing really was that Aaron Rodgers was not healthy. And he was trying to give you whatever it is he could. They had a disagreement. I think, that relationship between him and Mike McCarthy, I'm not saying that it was just horrible, but I just think, as far as working together, it had gotten to as far as it could go. And you saw things, and I've said it, and everybody else has said it, is that, personnel. What are you, doing when you have a guy in Aaron Jones that rushes for 5 yards a game or 5 yards a carry, and then you don't give him an opportunity to carry the load or carry the rock, and you're trying to preserve him, and I don't know why you're trying to preserve him. Give him a game. See if he can do it. I'm not saying you got to do it for the rest of the year, but you got, Jamal Williams there. He can relieve him if Aaron Jones can't, carry the load, but wide receivers, Devontae Adams, that was pretty much Aaron Rodgers' go-to guy. I think he was the only person that he really depended or trusts that whole season. So where are you going to get, your other production? Because Randall Cobb is gone. You do have, the young guys in Scatling and Geronimo, that you're looking for them to step up, on this team. And then I think they're trying to go through a whole, remake or revamping their defense. Clay Matthews is gone. Like I just said, the Mike Daniels is gone. So they're probably trying to usher in a new wave, of players. And last but not least is the coach. I just said Mike McCarthy. He is no longer there, and now you got Matt LaFleur, and he's a first-time coach, and people are talking about him and his relationship with, Aaron Rodgers, and how is he going to deal with, if Aaron gets cocky, or how is he going to do if Aaron, change plays and everything. There's only one way to find out is once when it happens. But if they have success, then it won't be a problem. But I do think it will be, a bit of a task for them. There will be some good points or good moments during this season for Green Bay. And I think they could get back in the mix in the NFC North and be a contender to win the division. That's just, me. You got Aaron Rodgers, you got a shot, on it. And if they utilize the run game like a lot of people want them to and actually be what a lot of people think it is, yeah, they could definitely rival one of the other teams in this division. So Green Bay, I do see them winning more than 6 games. I think they'll be in double digits. 10 games. 10 games should get you into the playoffs, but sometimes it doesn't. But it could happen. It could happen. And it hurts me to say that, but it is what it is. In the Wait a Minute Show chat room, I'm going to break away from it and I get to the other two teams. Mo Cheese is saying Big L Award nominee for punching for Christine Agnew, and I know who that is because she cold-blooded, for punching Brittany Griner and turning into Usain Bolt when Griner went after her. So I read about this. I did not see it, Mo Cheese. I did not know she ran, but maybe I need to look that up while we're on air because I did see something, about Brittany Griner and getting involved with someone. Marcus here in the Wait a Minute Show chat room is saying, my first live stream, but I talk sports with this guy all day. I'm impressed, although I won't tell him that. Well, I guess Lopan, Marcus is saying he impressed with your knowledge. Indeed. Yeah, so I mean, powerful words, Lopan. That's all I'm going to say. Powerful words by you. You're impressing the listeners out here. So good job. And then Mochi says, Jelani, when you can watch her take off. Okay. I'll check that out. I'll try and do double duty and look at that while I'm talking Mochi. So next up in the NFC North Division, we're going to talk about the Minnesota Vikings, who finished 8-7-1. So they also finished in a tie, and that was with the Green Bay Packers. So